And it's on.
All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to call the meeting of May 30, 2019 to order. Ben, will you take the roll call, please?
Sure. Deputy Mayor Long.
Here.
Council members Achara.
Here.
Napolitani.
Here.
Shephaka.
Here.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Here. Everybody please rise for a pledge of allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silent prayer to remember all those from Memorial Day, our veterans that gave the ultimate sacrifice. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. The notice requirement for the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting has been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press, Coaster, and posted in Town Hall, and recorded at the Municipal Clerk's Office December 27th, 2018. There are two fire exits, one to my right, which will bring you out to the front parking lot, and then one in the back there, which meanders down and up the hall and also to the parking lot. If you have a cell phone, now's the time to turn the volume down. You can keep it on if you need to take a picture or anything like that, but it interferes with our recording. If you need to make a call, just go out into the hallway. So tonight, before we get into our regular business or we do council reports, we have a couple of proclamations and certificates of appreciation here. So we're going to come down from the dais and we're going to honor a few people that really deserve it. So, come on down, Council.
Yeah, well, it's only 3 weeks, that's fine.
This is our favorite part of the meeting. Honoring those. And then taking a pie in the face later is our second favorite. We like that too. Right, John?
Yes.
Yeah, sure you do. So, first, this lady, my favorite person. So we have a member here of the Environmental Commission, and these are all volunteers, by the way, folks who serve on our boards, Environmental Commission, Zoning Board, Planning Board. These folks, they come out, they give their time, they sit through long meetings, and they make major contributions to the township. And they're really the backbone of our operation here. We really couldn't survive without our volunteers. We really, really rely on them. And they all do a great job. But this one lady went above and beyond once again. And she's a member of the Environmental Commission. I'm going to invite her up here and embarrass her a little bit. Mary Johnson, come on up here, Mary. Let's hear it from Mary. Stand right over here, young lady. So Mary's a member of our Environmental Commission, and she also is very instrumental in putting together our Green Fest every year, helping out with that. Now, Green Fest, if you haven't been there, you have to go. It's very, very educational. It tells you all about the environment, how we can save our planet, and all that good stuff. And we get hundreds of people come through, right? We did really good this year. We should have charged admission.
No.
No, we wouldn't do that. Our environment's more important than charging admission. We did. So we have a little certificate for Mary, but Mary, you have something you want to tell us about your efforts here?
I just wanted to thank the council for recognizing Green Fest and our relationship with the earth. And obviously this yearly event is the result of many people, so I just have a few names to thank also. Ray Pogwist originated Green Fest 9 years ago, and he ran it himself for the first 6 years before I took over. Many librarians and the staff have hosted the event, worked to publish it, set it up, and the worst part, clean up afterwards. Volunteers from many organizations in our town and throughout the state give their time and their expertise to make it worth coming to, but especially the Garden Club of Ocean Township. Those ladies put in hours separating, wrapping, and distributing trees for the local planting. They give them away free. And our township employees, every department, everyone I've ever asked for help has been very helpful, very supportive. But a special thanks to Adrian Becker. We all know how helpful Adrian can be, and always very willingly helped me. Our local merchants who donate, especially the food for the volunteers. And the Shade Tree and Environmental Commissioners who give me all of the support that they can in every way. So from all of us, thank you, and thank you to the council for recognizing and supporting the importance of the environmental and the shade tree commissions that make our town the township of gracious living.
Oh, and I agree. That's nice to hear. Give it up for Mary again. Very nice. Oh, no. We're not done embarrassing you yet. By the way, Johnny's been doing the most he can for his environment. He hit a pound of dirt this morning, so he's coming a long way. He's given up all the bits. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, so Mary, we have this little appreciation here for you. It's for her Herculean efforts to coordinate and organize an annual Ocean Township Green Fest, an enhancement to the Ocean Township tree canopy, and it's signed from all of us, mayor and council, and it present this to you. It's our honor to do this for you.
Thank you very much. Oh, I should leave it. So,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry,
okay.
Jack.
Leave it
I
open so
need your
Jack can get
picture.
another picture here, because you might see that picture one day. Okay, there we
He
go.
sends me all his pictures.
He sends them to you. We never see them.
Well,
That's
you
wonderful. We
put
got to
out
go through
Green
Mary.
Fest.
I'm kidding. He does great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you again, Mary. Keep doing what you're doing for us. We really appreciate it.
Look forward to working.
Okay. I want to hold that, Mr. John. All right. And now another honor that we have, and we like doing this, and this young man's an Eagle Scout coming up here. So Colin Lavin, come on up, Colin. We're going to talk about Colin and his project. Give it up for Colin, everybody. All right. Full disclosure, this is his 4th Eagle Scout Court of Honor. He's this year. The kid's really milking it. He's going a long, long way. Now, oddly enough, a few years ago, we did your brother Tommy, did a great project, but we all forgot about him because, you know, Colin came along and he did a super, super project here also. But Tommy, it's funny because I was invited to your other Court of Honor, and I'm reading the program, looking at it, I'm thinking, I have to mention this, guys, because it's too funny. I'm looking at Thomas Lavin, the 7th. Thinking, what? How much pressure is on this kid? The 7th, right? I mean, and so later on, Tom the 6th and the 5th came up to me and they introduced themselves, and I'm laughing. They go, we had no choice. It's just the way it is. Once you got to number 4, you know, the mother-in-law or somebody got involved. It's going to be Thomas. It's going to be all the way down. So you're lucky you dodged that bullet, because you think being an Eagle Scout and you're having to do this was a lot of pressure, but your brother was really under a lot of pressure. And let's talk about you, though. It's about Colin, and it's about his great project that he did. It's a Blue Star project that he did over at the in front of the museum. Also had help with the garden club as well, right? So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about it.
So it's a Blue Star Memorial Garden, and the whole Blue Star, it's a whole national level type deal, and it's basically just a memorial honoring all veterans who have served and will serve. And yeah, I don't know. It's a really nice garden.
And it represents all branches of the armed forces, right?
Yes, we planted 5 different Alberta spruce trees in the background, and all 5 of them are meant to represent the 5 different branches of the armed service.
Now repeat after me. It also, no, I'm kidding. He did good. You should memorize that by now. It's like your 5th one. But no, it was really a great project. You had a lot of help with that, right?
Yeah. The Garden Club was a sponsor, and they really helped with all the plantings. And then from my own troop, 71, we had a lot of scouts show up and help me build and dig out the land to construct the garden.
And it came out beautiful. If anybody gets a chance, go on over there and urge you to take a look at it. So from here, now I know your brother's somewhere else. I'm not going to talk about him. I'm going to talk about you. So what are your plans in the future? What are you looking to do?
I'm looking to pursue education in engineering, and well, I look to continue my life throughout scouting, possibly becoming an adult scouter.
And scouting, something that's with you forever. Once, like they say, once an Eagle Scout, always an Eagle Scout. That's something they can't take away from you. And it's a very arduous chore to get to that point, the dedication that you have to put into it, because as they say, nationally the numbers were like 4% start and finish. And for you guys to go through the dedication and all the distractions that you come through once you get to high school, it's very difficult, and I see it. But, you know, future leaders of the country, man, these guys, Eagle Scouts, give it up for Colin. It's fantastic. Good job. So we have a proclamation for you, one of many, and of course it cites your project here, but at the very bottom is what we'll really read to you. Now, therefore, be it resolved by Christopher P. Siciliano, along with the governing body here of Ocean Township, hereby honor and congratulate Colin Lavin upon attaining the rank of Eagle Scout and commend his outstanding record of service, leadership, accomplishments that exemplify that rank, and extend to him our sincere best wishes and continued success for future endeavors. Congratulations. Want to get a picture of Mom and Dad also up here? Tom and Susie, you want to come up? And I'm sure Eagle Scout over there from Troop 71 will take a picture. That's you. Yeah, well, we have to make sure he takes it off of selfie mode. Got it, Don?
Jack was in the way.
Don got it. He worked it out. Good? All right. Thank you, guys. Congratulations again. Okay. Good job. We're going to take a short recess and give everybody a chance. If they don't want to stick around for the regular business, that's fine. You can go home and catch up on some of your homework or other projects. If you want to stick. Okay. Okay, we're back in session. Okay, the purpose of the public portion is to solely ask questions, understand resolutions that appear on this agenda, not an occasion for a public hearing on ordinance. All questions not related to an item on this agenda should be asked during the public comments portion at the conclusion of the meeting. Before I open it up on the agenda, I'm going to ask for the council members if they have a report. John, you have anything for us?
Yeah, just a couple of thank yous. This past weekend was Memorial Day weekend. Township of Ocean held a really nice event here with the veterans. I want to thank all the men and women who served this great country of ours. Memorial Day was a great celebration this weekend. And secondly, I'd like to thank the residents who entrusted me to become their councilman here for the next 4 years. I appreciate your support, and I am here to support each and every resident as best I can. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Donna?
We are having our 4th annual garage sale this weekend. It's starting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have over 200 residents that have applied. If you go to Google Maps, you can call up and you can call it up on your phone, and you can find where all 200 homes are that you can visit for the garage sale. Adrian has spent a lot of time putting that on. Also on Saturday from 9 to 1 at the Dow Avenue School, there is going to be a paper shredding, and it's limited to 100 pounds. And it's confidential papers only. No newspapers, no magazines, and stuff like that. It's just confidential papers limited to 100 pounds. And that's all I have right now.
Good, thank you.
Oh,
Rich? Oh, yes?
well, I forgot that we do have July 3rd, we do have fireworks and maybe food vendors and other entertainment over at Joe Playa Park. We will have a band and other interesting developments.
Good.
I forgot that we aren't having that other meeting, so.
Oh, okay. Good, thank you. Rich?
Yes, Mayor, yes, Mayor, I do. I want to publicly thank Councilwoman Donna Shepica for once again orchestrating our town's Memorial Day service here at Town Hall this past Monday. She has done throughout many events over a period of several years. Donna attended to the numerous moving parts and various details of the event so that Ocean could pay appropriate tribute to our nation's and indeed our community's fallen heroes. I publicly salute you, Donna,
Thank
for
you.
your many years of being behind the scenes and organizing Ocean's numerous public events. Well done.
Thank
That's my
you.
report, Mayor.
Thank you, Rich.
Likewise, Don, I told you that day I thought it was the best ceremony that we had, and I continued to believe that, and thank you for putting that
Thank you.
together on behalf of the veterans. Also, congratulations to those who did win, folks that are out in the audience that are joining the council come July. Thank you for your support of my candidacy as well. Looking forward to working with everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Mike?
No report.
That's great. We love it that way. Marty?
I agree with Rich and Rob regarding Donna. Great job, Donna.
Thank you.
I also want to thank everybody. Thank you, Donna, for the Memorial Day service. That was awesome. We had a great turnout, over 100 people in attendance. Very moving ceremony. And we had some great entertainment there, by the way. And then also to follow up on what everybody's saying, well, thank you all for your support through this last election. We're all here to work for you. It's about you, not us. And thirdly, we will be having a reorganization meeting on July 1st. There's going to be a meeting in between, but I'll say it now as well. We'll be here at 4 o'clock. It's our traditional reorg after an election. That'll be at 4 o'clock, and it's pretty much just the ceremony of swearing in the new members, etc. And also, following that will be an open celebration barbecue for all the townspeople, supporters, families, and friends to join us at the Oakhurst Fireman's Field at 5 o'clock immediately following. Okay? That being said, we're going to get into our business. Does anybody have any questions on the consent agenda? Come on up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record, if you do. No? Okay. Or the resolutions, nobody? All right. Seeing here nobody, somebody please offer the minutes April 25th, 2019 and May 9th, 2019. Someone offer?
I'll offer the minutes.
Second?
I'll second it.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. And also we have resolutions 19089 through 19094. Someone please offer?
I will offer those resolutions.
Second?
I'll second them.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. And for individual actions, we have resolutions 19095. Authorize the tax collector to issue a refund for block 22, lot 108.02 to an overpayment of the second quarter 2019 taxes. Someone please offer?
I offer resolution 19095.
Second?
I'll second it.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 19096. Authorize a contract with Municipal Code Corp. Tallahassee, Florida to assist with the meeting automation process at a cost not to exceed $5,800 for the 1-year period, December 1st, 2018 through November 30, 2019. Someone please offer?
I offer resolution 19096.
Second?
I'll second it.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. And 19097. Approve change order number 9 for the 2016 road improvement program awarded to Fernandez Construction, Inc., resulting in an increase of $4,818.40. Someone please offer?
I offer resolution 19097.
And I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, 19098, authorize the tax collector to issue a refund for block 39, lot 44, due to an overpayment of the second quarter 2019 taxes. Someone please offer?
I offer resolution 19098.
And I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, and 19099, authorize the tax collector to issue a refund credit to those taxpayers that have received a favorable state tax appeal judgment. Someone please offer?
I offer resolution 19099.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, and 19100, approve a change 159 budget amendment to the following grants: A, recycling tonnage grant, $45,785.45, and B, Clean Communities grant. We can add another $68,270.94 to our budget thanks to the grant. Someone please offer?
I offer resolution 19100.
Second?
I'll second it.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Just before I vote, I want to thank the people that were involved in these grants. They're not filled out in and of themselves. There's a lot of work that goes into it. I gladly vote yes.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rich.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. For ordinance tonight, we have for adoption ordinance number 2322. Someone please open a public hearing on. Oh, Vin, would you read the title? I'm
Sure.
sorry, so everybody knows what we're doing.
An ordinance appropriating $550,000 from reimbursement payments expected to be received by the Township of Ocean from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for the construction of upgrades to the sluice gates located at the outfall of Deal Lake.
Good, thank you. Someone please open the public hearing on ordinance number 2322.
I'll open the public hearing on ordinance 2322.
Second?
Second?
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, so before we have the adoption tonight, if anybody wishes to be heard on ordinance 2322, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Seeing or hearing no one, someone please make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2322.
I'll close the public hearing on ordinance 2322.
Second?
Second?
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. Action please on ordinance number 2322.
Move to approve ordinance 2322 and publish according to law.
Thank you. Second?
Second?
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, ordinance 2322 has been moved. Congratulations, everybody. We look forward to automating something that's 110 years old, at least, right?
Don's going to have to find a new way to exercise.
All right, for introduction tonight. Oh, what happens?
No.
Oh, these will. Okay, 613.
Mhm.
Is that what we said? Okay. For introduction tonight, we have two ordinances. The first one is 2323. Ben, would you read the title, please?
An ordinance authorizing the private sale of non-conforming real property known as Block 1502, Lot 9, to a contiguous property owner.
Okay. Someone please move to introduce ordinance 2323.
I'll move to introduce ordinance 2323.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, and that will have its public hearing on June 13th, and it's for a 10-foot by 125-foot piece of property over on Garfield Avenue in the Elbron Park section of Ocean, which is off of Roosevelt Avenue, if anybody's interested. Okay, also for introduction is ordinance 2324. Ben, would you read the title, please?
A bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements and the acquisition of various capital equipment appropriating $3,244,886 and authorizing the issuance of $2,783,392 bonds and notes.
Great. Someone please introduce ordinance 2324.
I'll introduce ordinance 2324.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, and that too will have its public hearing at 6:13, which will be inclusive of all our roads program, capital improvement program, to parks, buildings, etc. That's our annual program that we put together. At this time, if anybody from the public has anything germane to Ocean Township business or wish to extol on us anything of importance, please come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Marty Martino, 1600 Bryan Avenue here in Ocean Township. At the last council meeting, I had I made a twofold request to the mayor and to the council. First, and I'd like to kind of address both of them this evening. First request was if Deal Lake can be lowered to prevent flooding in case of a storm as outlined in the permit issued by the Fish and Wildlife. And I asked the Ocean Township Mayor and Council to conduct their own independent investigation and advise the Ocean Township Deal Lake Commission Chairman and us residents if that could be done. And the basis for that request was that I'm appealing to you to help stop unnecessary flooding and damage to our properties and other properties throughout Ocean Township. Just want it in accordance with the permit that's issued by the Fish and Wildlife. My request is, have you had the opportunity to conduct your investigation? If you have, what is the outcome of your investigation?
Okay. And you had a second question, or that was it? Just that one?
I'd like to deal with the second question after we put the first one to bed.
Okay. So first, to answer the first part, we relied on the engineers that are on the Deal Lake Commission to give us information first, which we just gathered from them all this past week. We had a short week because of the Memorial Day, et cetera. So to do an outside investigation is going to take a little time. We'd have to hire somebody else to do that for us because our township engineers also represent the Deal Lake Commission. Okay, so I hope you understand that part. Did you have another question, Marty? I know you did. That's why.
Yes, I do have a second part to that, but I'd just like to go back to the first part as well. My request, I've made this request before at a Deal Lake Commission meeting as well. The last meeting and prior meetings as well. And I documented to the council back in September of last year where they kind of declined lowering the lake in advance of the storm. Now, this past storm, the first weekend in May, all right, for the first time that I could recall, we had rainfall over 2 inches, and they lowered the lake with the flume. This is, I think, and maybe these are the results of our request to you for investigation. And I realized that the Deal Lake engineers, are the same as your engineers. And I guess all I'm only asking is to work out some kind of feasible way to abide by the permit and at the same time meet the requirements of the Fish and Wildlife. But I would also like to say, too, that I'm not sure I really want to say this, but I'm going to say it.
Say it.
But
we're all friends. It's not going to be.
We're all friends, right? But I think
words,
it's been 15, 20 years to get the flume resolved. Yes. And I think the past year, the Deal Lake Commission has really made giant steps forward in getting this issue finally resolved. And I want to thank the Ocean Township Council for supporting what you had to do from a financial viewpoint to make this happen. So I think these are all to be complimented on getting this thing finally resolved. So, Don Brockle and the commission,
Oh, thank you.
good job.
That's a
That's the thing
compliment
you
in
did.
there.
How about that one?
That's a biggie.
That's a new one for Marty.
Watch the lightning.
Now,
There's a
this-
defibrillator over there. If you need it,
Now, the second one's a little bit different.
Peter.
The second request I had made to you was to
The resolution.
I would request a resolution that the Deal Lake Commission meetings be televised. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have actually gone to one of these meetings. So let me share with you the last meeting and the one before that. The tables that they have are U-shaped, right? And they just kind of sit together, and it's almost like a private meeting between the commission and the consultants and the attorneys, right? And it's done, and it's very hard in the audience to hear what they say, right? And we've had occasions where we've had to holler up to them, speak up, because we don't know what you're talking about, right? Additionally to that, there is no audio, there is absolutely no recording of that meeting. So if you miss something, there's actually no way to go back and check and see what you heard, what was said. All right, so I guess my request to you is if you had a chance to consider adopting this resolution and where you stand on that and what are your plans.
Yeah, so I present it to everybody on the council, send them an email, and of course, I don't think anybody had a problem with it. So probably the 13th, I'm sure we'll have a resolution for you.
Great, thank you
Again,
very much.
it's just a resolution saying we support the notion of doing that. It's up to the Deal Lake Commission, you guys, to work that out. The
I
logistics
understand
of
that,
it.
and I also had a civics lesson for the DLA Commission
Awesome.
last time. Kind of advised each of the members there that each one of you are elected to your office, right? And the people elect you, right? And it's important that the members, the commission members, know what your views are on this because they're not elected; they're appointed by you, and where the commission goes, where the DLA Commission goes, is a reflection on each one of you. So I thank you and I thank the council for going ahead with this resolution because I think it'll be a tremendous step forward for Ocean Township. Thank you.
Marty, can I ask you a question? Mayor, you mind? Real quick. This one. The little
Our
guy.
voices get thrown.
The little guy over
Marty,
there.
back here.
Marty, turn around.
Marty,
Me.
turn around.
I want to ask you.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I thought it was someone back on
That
hold.
was me. So, on the first question about lowering the lake.
Yes,
So you said they lowered it when we got to 2 inches beginning of May.
it's correct. It was on their website that they lowered the lake, and we didn't have any flooding, as you said.
That's what I was going to ask you. So, so at 2 inches, they lowered it and it helped you.
Yes.
The
Well,
per-
the storm, as I understand it, Don Brockle said the rainfall was over 2 inches for that storm period, and this permit is you only need 1 inch in order to lower.
Okay, so when it's raining above the 1 inch, and in
Yes.
this case below the 2,
Yes.
the flooding I'm assuming that you want it, I want to just put it on the record, you want it lowered so that you're not flooding.
Well, whatever they did this time is sufficient. I'm not sure exactly how much they lowered it, but whatever they did,
Work.
they did a good job.
Okay, so what didn't happen? Well, let me do it a different way. When they don't lower it, what happens to your property?
Oh, the lake overflows.
I
mean, it
understand
floods the dock, it floods all our properties.
So the property, so it's over the dock, it's over the property, it's
Oh,
going
yeah.
into the home.
I mean, look
How-
at the boat chance. Look at the boat chance property. It floods almost on a continual basis when the water goes up over 18 inches.
and when you say it floods, just so I'm clear, it's getting into the house, it's getting into the property. So
on the boat chance. So the stocks are flooded and all that, and all the debris that is in the lake. And there's a lot of debris in that lake.
right.
A lot of that debris washes up onto our property. You got to get the hose out and wash it all off every time it happens.
Got it. So, and now is it, aside from the dock and the lawn, is it causing damage to the home? In your case?
Not this particular one, but on prior occasions it has.
Okay, so it's going into the homes. It's
Yes.
not just,
On prior occasions.
got it. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Oh, Jim's already up. Oh, well, I think we got,
Jim Bay, Deal Lake,
we
or
got some.
David Street. David Street. The last time you and I were at the Deal Lake Commission, the watershed was not saturated at that point. just a calendar event, it wasn't flooded up above for the 2 or 3 weeks ahead. If you're going to get 2 inches on a non-saturated watershed, c'est la vie. You get 2 inches right now, you have to give consideration to it. So it's not just the rain that's coming, it's what's the last saturation of the watershed.
Good point.
So
Okay.
it's not as simple as just how many inches you're going to get.
Fair point.
They didn't get flooding. The watershed wasn't saturated that week.
Got it.
Okay, so
Good
it's
point.
not quite as simple as just 2
Yep,
inches.
nope, fair point.
We take those compliments back. Oh,
Well, you weren't saturated that week.
I'm only kidding. They stay.
The county records their meetings. They just push a button, send the recordings to a inexpensive method. If you video the DLA commissions, the cost could exceed the 19 grand that you kick into the DLA commission. It's not cheap. And is it really needed to spend that kind of money for the DLA commission to be videoed? Yeah, if you want to record it, by all means. It doesn't cost much at all to record it. It's approaching zero, as opposed to hiring somebody to run video cameras.
And again, I think, keep me honest, I think we want to pass a resolution saying we support it, but somebody else is going to have to work out the logistics.
Yeah, they can work up the
But
logistics.
even if you do, it's very expensive. And if you just record it and call it even,
But Jim, I heard you're right. They haven't gotten the numbers yet. If they do, I heard some numbers already weren't that much. And my thought was, if they want to do that, they can sell sponsorship for each one of their tapings. And
or
I
just
think
audio record it. and
somebody
call
would
it even.
gladly pay to say, "I sponsor this meeting."
Tom Rue comes cheap.
Well,
He does a
Tom,
really good job.
we can't commit Tom to it.
On the ordinance regarding the bonding, $3.2 million.
Well, right, 2.7.
Okay. Over on the second page, the Wickapeco Drive, how much of that's going to the Wickapeco Drive?
350.
350?
You know what we're going to do there?
Are you just going to do the heavy construction right now?
No, we're going to tear down half the building.
And any chance you could just tear it down and sell the property off and keep
Well-
the parking lot?
Absolutely, we could do that, but we don't want to do that. I'll tell you why. We have the money to accomplish our goal there. For 350, we can tear down the bad half that really requires all the work, and there's a good half there that really requires paint and carpet. Take that down, and our plan is maybe put up a shed there that our maintenance crew can use also, because we need extra storage room, things like that. So we can append a little shed over there and make a good use of it, and then use the other 4,000 or 5,000 square feet for a clubhouse. And
Did you ever
things
get
like that.
estimates on the envelope? We got the estimates on the heavy construction of the load-bearing internal, the load-bearing on the back,
Mm-hmm.
the concrete on the left, the roof. Did you ever get numbers on the envelope?
on
After you've done all that work, you have to do a complete bathrooms,
Yeah,
carpeting.
350 is pretty much, not counting the carpet and the paint, it's going to take care of the roof on the building, taking the demolition and also adding on the piece that we want, the prefab.
Did you ever get any numbers for the next step?
No, not yet. We will.
Okay. So last year you guys bonded about 11.2 million. Steve said you're into about 15 million bonding this year. To whatever degree you can tone this down, do the right thing.
Well, there was no bond issue, just to clarify, there was no bond
No.
issued to make that purchase. That was something that the mayor was able to gain from developers.
Well,
But
it's
it's a
included in
separate
the
issue.
bond.
Last year you bonded 11.2, and you're
Well,
on
we
the track
we
for
re-
about 15 million bonding this year. So to whatever degree you can tone these things down.
Yeah,
do
we're
the
not
right
bond,
thing.
just so we're clear, so the audience is, we're not bonding 11 million a year in work and things like that. That's a recasting of some bonds, went to permanent financing, and which saves us about 900,000 over a 10-year period by going to a permanent bonding. Just so we're clear on that, we bonded maybe for 4 million in actual new work cost, acquisitions, etc., and then the bonds get paid down before the September. The monies that we acquired, like from the Nobility Crest, sale of real estate, things like that, will go towards that, and then you're recasting a bond and going to permanent bonding for a lot less, and you're saving money there. But I just want to make sure you understand we didn't bond for 11 and then 15. That's the total number, which we have now. And we're well under our bonding capacity.
Well,
And we always
bonding
will be.
capacity is a theoretical. Okay,
Right.
thank you. I
All
appreciate
right, thanks, Jim.
Sure.
Yes, Mr. Bracco.
Don Brockle, 710 Laurel Avenue.
And I just want to thank the council for approving the bond tonight. If the public doesn't know, the $550,000 is going to be repaid by the federal government, the Corps of Engineers, through the state of New Jersey. We had the ability to talk to the Corps of Engineers and convince them, because they would have to put $5 million into the new flume extension to prevent any blockage from the sand that had happened before a couple of years ago. And it's quite a bit of money. So we convinced them that we can open it up more often, and we needed modernization. It's actually almost unsafe to go in the building right now because of the electrical issues in the building. So we're going to get that done. And but thank you, and thanks to the Corps and everybody and my staff. They're here today. They've done a great job. We spent a lot of time with Marty and the lawyers, and this wasn't just a couple of weeks. This was years of work. Years of work. And I thank you, Marty, for the thanks. And even if you go back into the old records of DLA Commission, their vision of electrification is basically a motor. You go in and push a button. This is going to be different. This is going to be, if I'm in Hawaii, which I have to do a test maybe, and I want to open the flume, we can push a button on a computer. So it's going to make it easy for not only me, but my hopefully replacement down the road to do these things. But thank you again. You're welcome. And I just want to tell you, it's an honor to represent Ocean Township on the DLA Commission. I've been selected chairman since 2013. And I've been on the lake since I was, a kid. I learned how to swim at 5 years old. My brothers threw me in. So they fished you out of a straw basket. They tied a rope around my waist and threw me in. So I swam in Deal Lake. They lost their serving privileges for the year, though. That's what they did. But I'm 8 years old, 9 years old. As a scout, we started cleaning the lake, and I've been cleaning ever since. And I think it's one of the nicest lakes in the area. Maybe the state. So I bumped into a bass fisherman today. Had a nice chat. He was doing very well catching bass today. And he said to me that this is the best lake to fish in the state of New Jersey. Wow. It was pretty amazing. And the nicest thing, Marty, you'll love to hear this, the people on the lake are the nicest. He goes to Lake Apacon. Nobody talks to him. Actually, ladies actually spray water on him when they get too close to the dock. And in Deal Lake, the 7 towns would make up the lake. People are nice. They cooperate. Now, of course, we have our crazy boaters, but for the most part, people are respectful to the properties. So that's another little tidbit. On the TV issue, yes, I told Marty we were going to look into this 2 or 3 meetings ago, and we are. We have some numbers. I'm photogenic. We got great looking people back there. We'll do well. The numbers are low. I mean, they're not high. It looks doable. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it the next year because of the way our budget is set. So possibly next year we can do it. That's what we're hoping for. But if we have donations from the public, and we're going to put this out, we might be able to do it sooner. So we're going to be talking about it next meeting. I know some of the towns don't want to put a dime. Nobody really wants to put money up. Extra money. Sponsorship. Right now, if everybody knows, our budget's basically $50,000 donations from all the towns, split up. Ocean Township is the largest, Asbury's the next, Interlake, and so on. And it's made up based on the frontage of the lake each town has. Ocean provides $22,000. Asbury Park's $11,000. If you give just a sample of the numbers, and then we have surplus dollars that we put into it. So it's about a $75,000 budget in that realm. So we'll be looking at that next year. But it looks like we will do some kind of TV or audio. We're not sure exactly what direction, but I think it's going to be probably TV. The other thing about the flume operation, it is saturation. It's about the moon. It's about the tides. It's about the winds. If we have a northeast breeze and a coastal, if you hear coastal flood alert, the DLA Commission, myself, and others on the commission are on mark in terms of lowering the lake. A lot of times people think that we should lower it. There's the storm coming up, predicted 1-2 inches of rain. In Deal Lake handles 1 inch of rain with no problem. And that's at normal levels. It's about 3 inches, 4 inches above dam height. We can control the lake to the top of dam. The state comes into play when we lower it, and it's because of the fish habitat. We have to protect the fish. That's why we get the permit. We can protect the properties also, right? That's the reason you get a permit, but we also have restrictions. If you go back in years, and I have copies of it for your record, I'll send an email to you guys. We had to be first. Years ago, we couldn't even open the flume in the summer. It was restricted. We were restricted during the hurricane season, which was amazing. So we went
in 2015, we went to the state and we said, your permits are based on lakes in Sussex County, not the Jersey Shore. We need modification. So it went from 1 foot decrease, we got an 18-inch decrease, 24 hours ahead of time. We originally had we asked for 72, but we got 24 hours. So we're still working with the state trying to get the best permit for coastal lakes. We're not there yet. Hopefully next year we'll have a better permit. But a 1 inch storm, that says 1 inch has a lot to do. We have a lot of give and take on that 1 inch. Storms that come to 2 or 3 or 4 inches, they're the ones I'm really worried about. 5-inch storm or above, even if I lowered 18 inches, folks are getting wet. And since I've been commissioner since 2013, we've had it up the doorsteps of Linda Beauchamp's house. I got a nice note from Linda tonight, and she thanked me for our efforts. Also, I got a note from Joe Pilata, who lives on the lake, who ran the flume for 20 years. And he gave me a very nice note. I'll share with you guys on email. But, these are, Joe is a consultant. I have an issue, I call Joe. I talk to Peter Avakian. So there are people we could coordinate with before we do a major lowering. But believe it or not, I actually get more calls on lowering the lake and have the effects where there's no rain. So it's a catch-22. Last year there was 2 huge storms. We had 2 6-inch storms last year in June. And they were torturous. One of them we did not know about. The other one we thought was going to be 3 or 4 inch. We lowered about a foot. Could have loaded a couple more. We're not perfect. We try our best to do our best. And with that said, I thank you again. Yes.
I just want to clarify one thing,
Sure.
if I may. Okay, you can probably provide this answer.
Okay.
You do have a person at your meetings who physically transcribes what occurs at the meetings. That's true, isn't it?
That is correct.
Okay, so
That is
in
correct.
other words, you have an individual who is keeping minutes
Correct.
of the meetings, and they are available to anybody who requests them. Am I correct?
Correct. Now that person does not write every single word down.
Right,
That
no.
person writes down the resolutions, who's making the resolutions, the actual actions of the commission.
I don't mean a person that would be similar to a court stenographer. I
Correct.
don't mean that, but there's somebody there that's actually providing a historical perspective of what's occurred at the meetings. Am I correct? if I
Correct.
say that?
And that information is also on the website. Our website also has the information about opening the flume. We have it open right now. Probably going to be closed in an hour or so. But that information is all there. We're trying our best to improve the website. We've done a lot in the last 5 years. We're definitely going to do more. But I believe we do a great job. We could always do better, though.
Sure. Okay, thanks, Don.
Okay, thanks.
I would just like to make an editorial comment. I was at the last Deal Lake Commission meeting, and Don is correct. They did do a preliminary investigation into the approximate cost to televise the meeting, and contrary to what was said before, $18,000 or $19,000, it turned out to be approximately $75 a meeting per meeting. 12 times a year, you're less than $1,000. So that's where you're looking.
Okay.
Maybe another 1,000 for.
Okay. You stretching?
Jack Mamie, Maplewood Avenue, Oakhurst. Small suggestions for your meetings. Maybe you can Facebook Live them in the meantime until you can get someone to actually record them, because that goes out to the public, especially if you have a Facebook page. You could just have someone maybe the person who's transcribing just hold their phone up and hit record, and it just goes out, and then people can watch it from anywhere. Yeah. And it's free.
How much does that cost, Jack?
0.
What? Wait a minute. We can't have that.
I also wanted to congratulate the council members-elect, and I wanted to thank Donna for her many years of service.
Thank you.
I've gone to a few events over the years. So since I was a kid, we've always gone to the fireworks at the park, and I've seen all the stuff that's been going on in town, and I wanted to say thank you, and we'll miss you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Very nice.
Thank you, Jack.
Scott?
Scott Sharp, Sunset Avenue in Wanamassa. I guess I still have a question here. I guess it was Mr. Bay brought it up. Section 3, item IV4. And that's these that encompass the 1001 Wickapeco and Logan Road things. And my question is, how do I find out the breakdown of that amount of money and what it's for? You answered as far as you're going to tear down half the building. This just begs the comment that I have pointed out to this board in the past, or this council in the past, which was the need before you make major capital purchases. I know that money was burning a hole in your pocket when you bought the property over by the golf course, because it was touted, oh, we've got this money, we should buy this building. And my comment then, and it still remains now, you bought it too quickly without a thorough total cost of ownership. There's nothing magical about that term. You can go look it up. It's done in all engineering processes. What's this going to cost over 5, 10, 20 years? Before you signed to buy that building. Doesn't say that the building may not be of need. There's a need for a space. But when you buy things like that, and then you find out about the problems later, and I worry about the same situation on Logan Road of what are the surprises ahead for us. You know, it's just a recommendation for the way the council and the township do business. And there should be some flashing red lights before you make certain purchases or acquisitions, especially ones that are several $100,000. So that's just a recommendation for you on that. I think that's all I've got.
Okay, thank you. And not to start a debate or anything with you, but I'll answer it this way. There's times when you're faced with a situation where you have to make a decision that you feel is going to be beneficial to the entire township. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of time when something's looming, like an application that people don't want, and it's coming at you like a freight train. And there's only one way to stop it. So sometimes we make decisions based on that, what's going to be good for the entire community. All right? You know, the cost, listen, we can't hear you, not on the mic right now, Scott. You can come back up. You can come, always very transparent. You're at a meeting right now that we're taping, and we talk about these things.
We can't hear you.
You're not being picked
Scott,
up. You're not being picked
can't
up.
be heard.
So I didn't want to. All right.
Well, I'm just
Scott,
telling you, you can't
I'm
be heard. You
still,
want to be on the record.
Listen.
I don't care. You want to
You
be on
will,
the
but
record,
you're
go to the
going
microphone.
to wait till I'm done. But then you can talk. It's just what we did before. So in both instances, 1515 Logan and 1001 Wickapeco, there was applications coming at us, very unpopular with thousands of people. We made a decision, not totally on the blind. We have an understanding of what these buildings would cost. We know if we knock them down, it's zero. And we have all this figured out already. So the exact penny as far as what they need, all right, so we get in there and we figure that out after. And it's not going to be a burden to the taxpayers. We do this. We had 3 zero tax increases in a row, and we're able to accomplish a lot. We picked up both buildings. Now we're putting together a bond ordinance, still under that zero, where we can do the work that's required. 1515 Logan, we have an estimate for a roof. The rest of the building's in pretty good shape. They went through it already. We have potential tenants. I have a summer camp that wants to go there. It's going to generate revenue. I've told you this. I think these things out all the time. So I think it's beneficial. In my opinion, I understand your opinion, but I'll turn it over to you, Guy.
Okay. I guess in that particular example you just gave, I guess as a member of the public, you know, and I've heard through this campaign and other places of the need for transparency. The public, and I attend most of your meetings, and or if I don't, I listen to them, and I don't hear that that we're doing our due diligence as far as those major acquisitions. Maybe you're under the gun that somebody else is going to go in there and buy it up. I understand that, but there is very, least in my opinion, there's a lack of transparency that says, we've done our homework, we're going to buy this property, but the details are not there. We'll figure them out later. We're the ones, good for you, you're able to do the balancing of the budget without an increase, but somebody's paying that bill, And if that is an expenditure that was, the trade-off is whether or not those are costs that could be avoided. And there's a careful trade-off there. You're entrusted to make some of those decisions. I understand that. You've made that very clear to me. But I'm just telling you, these were two major acquisitions. I know that you felt some degree of pressure. However, this total cost of ownership, not for this council, it's for the next council and the next round of taxpayers who are going to be paying for maintaining those properties forever until you decide to sell them. So, just a recommendation.
Thank you, Scott. Anybody else wishing to be heard? Mr. Sullivan, come on up.
Hey, my name is Edward Vincent Colleen Frederick Sullivan. I reside at 721 Corley's Avenue in West Alleners. Congratulations to everybody elected.
Oh,
we
thank you,
are a
Mr. Sullivan.
constitutional democracy, and you want it fair and square. So I guess we'll be getting to know each other. My second round of court cases is over. I didn't appeal it because I don't have the money to appeal it. Judge Timothy McGochran is one of the finest judges around, probably outside of Steve Magora, who's deceased. But I've been, he kind of, when he says the town has options, I'm looking at the town right here. He's saying, if I don't cut down the number of people, and I'm trying, they're going to consider injunctive release, which is just throwing people out. And I care about lake heights and trees, but we're talking people here. I'm being faced with the potential of $2,000 a day with non-compliance fines. My fines already are north of 10 grand. One way to solve the occupancy problem was to put an addition on, but I was told, and I admire the person who told me, that if I did that, they would require me to get a use variance, which that's a joke. I really wonder, and without being facetious, are there really any Republicans present? I'm dealing with 8 levels of government telling me what I can and can't do with my private property. That sounds strange to a lot of people, but government should care about people more than just planning agendas. I understand community development, but I still live in this town too. I live in this town, I love this town, I vote in this town, and I do believe I have a right to have guests. I'm a little bit overoccupied, though we have been working consistently to reduce it. 7 great people who are with me do want to relocate to Ocean County. I am trying. Originally, I'm 66, my street name's Grandpa. I had plans to do a reverse mortgage to basically buy a place in the Township of Ocean for my stepson and his son. Well, it turns out my credit is not rosy, and I'm actually on the younger side of President Reagan's plan to assist older homeowners. I'm only 66.
Yeah, reverse mortgage is good when you're 80. It really kicks in.
Right, but I'm 66, so this, as my stepmother, who was the mayor of Indian Creek Village in Florida for 4 terms, would say, it's not practical for me right now because I can't get any money. So I can't buy a home in Ocean Township, which would bring me to compliance. I can't build an addition because the director of community development was gracious enough to tell me they're going to make me get a use variance. As I say, that's not going to happen because I have one neighbor that decided they just don't like me, even though we're polite to them. I can't buy another home anywhere, even in a less expensive area, to house anyone. That would be the quick way out. So I'm basically stuck with renting something, as the attached two-page letter indicates. I'm basically groveling to Judge McGockran to try to get another 14 days before the town comes in on me. If they come in on me, they're talking about injunctive relief, which is throwing people out, $2,000 per day in fines, and another trial with the township attorney present, saying how they can basically kick me out of town because I won't be able to afford to live here. It is, if I can't find, and I am looking, I do respectively submit the letter I wrote to Judge McGockran, along with my plan to get rental housing for these 7 people. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to comply. But if I'm forced to sell my home because I'm being fined $2,000 a day, that's just not cool. And I'm not going to hold with it. You probably can do it to me because you're the power structure and I'm not. But again, it's un-Republican to basically not work with the people who are here. I consider the people, we're a lot more than fertilizer for trees. Why I can't be too liberal. But at the same time, I've tried to help people. I made a few mistakes. And yet I don't want to be driven out of town. I don't think that's good community planning. It's certainly not good for me. So I would respectfully submit this to you, saying I'm trying to find housing for these 7 great people who want to move, but the market is it's tight right now, and not every deal offered is real or desirable. We're trying, but as I say, I'm groveling for another 14 days. Because if they come in on us, we're busted. I'm still overoccupied.
What happens in 14 days, Mr. Sullivan?
They do another inspection, I think.
They do another inspection. Right now, I'm a little overoccupied because it takes time to relocate.
You think in 14 days you'll have your situation resolved?
I'm trying. I'm trying. These letters that I will respectfully submit this to. I really couldn't afford to make copies for everybody.
No, that's all right.
It's the end of the month, but if I may, I'll walk and hand this to you.
Well, I know, but this is really not a council matter; it's a court matter. I
understand, but the court is the 8th level of government. There really are 8 levels of government that tell me what I have to do, can and can't do. I like a lot of the people within them, including the judge. But the court is the 8th level of government that I'm dealing with, trying to comply. But it's not like, I tried, as I said, I wanted to buy a place, can't do that. Wanted to buy something else, start Immaculata, shelter housing and farming. My financing fell through is really what happened. My credit's not so hot, and on the young side of the reverse mortgage. 50 grand isn't going to do it. So I'm stuck with renting, and I am trying to comply. These lovely people want to move. I'm going to miss them, but I understand they want to move. That'll bring us into compliance, but it takes time. Fortunately, I have some great people helping me, like Diane Aylor, Axelot Lady. I do have a track record with, but I'm going in there with kind of challenge credit. I hope that letter convinces it, somebody to take us, and I think I will. I'm trying. I'm not just saying, I'm not doing it. I got blessed that the 7 people, want to go to Ocean County because they're kind of tired of living under the threat of somebody coming in and booting us out. I'm scared. I'm not here to torture you, but I fear for the people that I love, and I don't want to be a thorn in your side. We're actually trying to comply. I'm trying to comply. I'm trying to cooperate.
I don't know that even if we wanted to, we have the power to ask the judge.
Oh, you can't do anything.
Right now.
I know. But I'm just saying, what else can I do but complain?
No, I hear you. That's fine.
This is the power. You are the power structure. You're our elected representatives. and you're working for us. Well, maybe some people don't like me. I understand that.
No, I don't.
But I'm a citizen of this town too.
Yes.
I've lived here since 1980, and I was born at Monmouth Hospital a long time ago, 1953. But I've lived in this town. I have a stake in this town. I choose to live in this town over Allenhurst because I thought it would be a little more like kind of normal, average, friendly. And there's good people in Allenhurst. I'm not knocking it, but I'm really not into the ABC social scene.
Gotcha.
Originally, I came here with 4 dogs. Now I have a few friends.
Right.
Eccentric, yeah, but you care about people. I sense you do too, which is why I haven't gotten slammed a long time ago. But we're trying.
I understand.
I'm really trying. I know the court's independent.
But keep trying. I know you're doing a
But
good effort.
I
You're
just
trying,
want to
Mr.
say,
Sullivan.
whatever happens to me, I really wouldn't be a happy camper if they slam $2,000 a day in fines.
No.
I have to sell my home. I'm not gonna be happy.
No, I know
And
you're
I
going to
don't
give
think
it.
it's-
I know you're going to keep working towards the goal of
We're trying.
resolving this situation. So good luck to you, and I'm glad that you came again tonight. Thank you.
God bless you.
All right. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too. Thanks for letting me speak.
Yeah, anytime. Anybody else wishing to be heard? Seeing or hearing no one? I want to thank you all for coming. Someone make a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming. We are twice a day, 10 a.m., 7 p.m., channel 22 via files, 77 via Cablevision. Thank you all for coming.